place at the right time, just where I'm supposed to be. I'm in the right place at the right time, just where I'm supposed to be. I'm in the right place at the right time, just where I'm supposed to be. I'm in the right place at the right time, just where I'm supposed to be. Oh, my soul is welcome here. Oh, my soul is welcome here. I am getting the message loud and clear. My soul is welcome here. We want to welcome everybody to Unity of Savannah this morning. We're so glad that you're here to celebrate with us on this lovely day. And we want to say hello also to everybody that's watching online, joining in. We have a lot of people watching on Facebook and on YouTube and on the website. So hello to all of you. I'm in the right place at the right time, just where I'm supposed to be. I'm in the right place at the right time, just where I'm supposed to be. I'm in the right place at the right time, just where I'm supposed to be. I'm in the right place at the right time, just where I'm supposed to be. Oh, my soul is welcome here. Oh, my soul is welcome here. I am getting the message loud and clear. My soul is welcome. Hey. All right. Come on and go with me into my Father's house. In my Father's house, to my Father's house. Come on and go with me to my Father's house. There is peace, peace, wonderful peace. I said there ain't no trouble in here, in my Father's house, in my Father's house, in my Father's house. There ain't no trouble up in here, in my Father's house. There is peace, peace, wonderful peace. Well, nothing but joy in here, in my Father's house, in my Father's house, in my Father's house. Nothing but joy in here, in my Father's house. There is peace, peace, wonderful peace. Come on, Tom. said, come on in and see. In my Father's house, in my Father's house, oh, in my Father's house, come on in and see. In my Father's house, there is peace, peace, wonderful peace. One more time now. I said there's nothing but peace in here. In my Father's house, in my Father's house, oh, in my Father's house, nothing but peace in here. In my Father's house, there is peace, peace, wonderful peace. Said there is peace, wonderful peace. Oh, there is peace, peace. There is peace. Morning. Whoa. Welcome to Unity of Savannah. I'm Reverend Dale Worley. Unity of Savannah is a center of spiritual awakening where we recognize God as what? Life, love, and the ground of all being. And we celebrate God by living fully, loving lavishly, and being all that we can be. That's a brand new song that we've never done before. That's a really old song that thought we'd try out on you today. I hope you enjoyed it. I'm kind of in the gospel mode after our memorial service that we had for Miss Sarah yesterday, which was awesome. And I just want to personally say to everybody that was here and took part and helped put it together, thank you for doing such a wonderful job. Can we give them a round of applause? I'm not going to ask you to stand up, and there was a lot of people that might be watching at home this morning that were here yesterday helping too. We did live stream it. It's on our YouTube page. It's unlisted, but if you're interested in seeing the service and you didn't get to see it, we can send you the link to that. So just send an email to me, minister@unitysavannah.org. So it's so good to see everybody this morning. I hope you're feeling well, and I ask you to join with me now in affirming our vision, mission, and purpose statements. So let's take a deep breath and center ourselves in this moment and affirm our vision. Together, we connect through the energy of joy and oneness. Another breath. Our mission. We embrace a positive, loving, and uplifting approach to spirituality. One more breath. Our purpose. We are an inclusive spiritual community. Let's take another breath now and turn within for a few moments of prayer. We always like to pray at the beginning, anytime that we get together. I like to begin my day with a prayer, even if it's just a short thank you as I step out on my deck and breathe in this cool, crisp air we experienced this morning. Whenever we start with prayer, we put God first, and we're aligning ourselves with divine order. For God is our source. All things emanate from that source. God is all good. We are all good. And we let that good shine and flow through us right now as we feel that ground of all being,
that living, loving presence moving in and through this room, moving in and through us right now. Wherever you are, God is, and all is well. And we affirm that this is so in the name of all that is holy and beautiful and true. And so it is. Amen. And if you would like to experience a one-on-one affirmative prayer after the service today, our prayer chaplains are here to serve you. If you're on duty as a prayer chaplain, would you please stand and let us honor you? Thank you for your service. Renal and Kevin are available to pray with you at any time during or after the service. And please be aware that your prayer chaplain may be behind you. So thank you, Miss Blessy, for your service as well. So we're focusing on peace today. We light our Christ candle to represent world peace.
World peace. I am a peaceful presence to all. Peace in the world begins with me. I consider it a sacred responsibility to respond to all people and circumstances peacefully. I forgive myself for those moments I am less than peaceful and quickly return to the peace of God in my heart. I am a living expression of God, just as all people are. My tranquil bearing inspires peacefulness wherever I go and with everyone I meet. Each day I join like-minded people everywhere in a renewed commitment to be a presence of peace. I give thanks that as each of us communicates God's love in our unique ways, peace and harmony are established in individuals, families, communities, and among nations throughout the world. Put things in order. Listen to my appeal. With one another, live in peace, and the God of love and peace will be with you. So today's affirmation is, I am a peaceful presence to all. I am a peaceful presence to all.
I am a peaceful presence in this world. I am a peaceful presence in this world. In this world. In this world. I am a peaceful presence in this world. I am a loving presence in this world. I am a loving presence in this world. In this world. In this world. I am a loving presence in this world. I am a peaceful presence in this world. I am a peaceful presence in this world.
can feel God's mighty power and God's grace. There's a holy hush around us. I see glory on each face. Surely the presence of the Lord is in this place.
Surely the presence of God is in this place. Surely the very presence of God, the very peace of God resides within. So at this time, I invite you to sit back, relax, allow the peace, the presence of your God to be. Peace begins with me. Peace begins with you. And as you allow the peace of God to permeate your skull, move around, allowing everything and anything and anyone who is not of peace, who is not of God, to dissipate. And as you do that, you focus on what is left. What is left is an open vessel. Open and willing to allow God in. In. And as God comes in, you release. You release the tension in your face. You unclench your jaw. You lower your shoulders. You allow your arms to go limp. You release any tension in your neck, in your chest, and you focus on the beat of your heart. God, God, God. so peaceful, so loving. And as the peace goes into your stomach, it's okay if it protrudes. It's God. The peace of God moves through the groin, to the thighs, to the knees, down through the legs, and comes to rest at your feet. And your feet represents understanding. So as you stand under the omnipotent one, the divine, the essence of peace, you know and know that you know that God loves you just as you are. And you rest in that knowing.
In the silence there is peace. In the silence there is unspoken joy. In the silence there's release from a world full of chaos and noise. So I wait in these precious moments when I hear all that can never be said right here in this holy silence. I find God. the silence, there is peace. In the silence, there is unspoken joy. In the silence, there's release from a world full of chaos and noise. So I wait for these precious moments when I hear all that can never be said, right here in this holy silence. I find God. I find God. I find God. I find myself. I find myself. I find myself.
There's a stillness that is all around us right now. Just breathe it in and feel it. This is God. Omnipresence. Everywhere present, presence. All the time. It doesn't have a beginning or an ending. Just feel after it. Feel after stillness and silence. Where is it for you? Your essence is stillness and silence. Feel after and from this still presence. Can you tell where it ends or begins? Is there a boundary to it? Is there an edge somewhere that it stops? We are limitlessness. We are expansiveness. Feel your consciousness. The same consciousness that Jesus Christ showed us when he said, "Peace, be still." And the Hebrew writer said, "Be still and know I am God." Let's take a couple more deep breaths now. Just be aware of the chair that you're sitting in. Feel the life that's in your toes and your fingers. Feel the hair on your head and know that it's life growing. Just take a deep, full breath and feel that God beat within your breast that Miss Evelyn reminded us of. Every beat of your heart is God, is life. Some of y'all know that I used to work at Unity Village, which is the headquarters of our movement out near Kansas City. And I was blessed to work for the Silent Unity telephone prayer ministry, where people have been praying just like this in stillness for over 130 years without stopping. Pray ceaselessly, we're told. Pray without stopping, without ceasing, knowing that every breath, every word is a prayer, every thought, every feeling is a prayer. We're creating our experience with every breath, with every thought we think, with every feeling that moves through us. And what a blessing to spend time in the prayer vigil chapel at Unity Village, where people have been praying. You can feel it when you walk in there. Usually there's 2, 3, 4 people in there at a time. And one time, if you were on the phones for a 4, 6, or 8 hour shift, you got to spend 30 minutes in the prayer vigil chapel, holding the vigil, holding the silence, holding the stillness. And so one time I was in there with a couple people, and after the 30 minutes were up, no one else came in. Everybody left but me. And so I stayed in there for another 30 minutes, and I held the silence. Charles Fillmore said that unity is a link in the chain of the great movement that was inaugurated by our way shower, Jesus Christ. And in that moment, when I was in the prayer chapel, I was that link in that chain. And we just felt that. We're praying with people all over the world right now. There are people in New Thought Centers on every point on the planet that sometime today, wherever they are, will be holding the stillness just like we are this morning. When I was at Unity Village, I was privileged to sit with Reverend Dorothy Pearson. Her and her husband, Phil Pearson, Reverend Phil Pearson, were the ministers at a Unity church in Sacramento back in the 70s. And they had a television program called The Best Is Yet to Be. And Dorothy was quite the character. She had big poofy red hair and bright red ruby lips and bright red fingernail polish, and she would grip the podium with those fingernails while she was speaking, and she was a poet, and she wrote such beautiful poetry, and she was raised up in unity. She was as a little girl, she played on the grounds at Unity Village, and she knew our co-founders, Charles and Myrtle Fillmore. She was quite the character, and I loved her. I liked to be around her because she was a lot of fun. And she liked to tell the story about when she was a little girl. She went to see the Hoover Dam, and there was all of this water pouring over it, and she was taken aback by the force of the water pouring over the dam and how powerful it was. And she just exclaimed, "Look at all that power." And the guy that was working there at the dam said, "No, honey, the power is on the silent side." So the waterfall is a manifestation of the power. Think about that. You can think of every experience in your life as being like a trickle or a stream or a brook or a river or a waterfall. Maybe your prosperity's trickling a little bit right now. Or maybe it's pouring forth like a rushing river and it's carried you away. Maybe your health is just a little bit of a stream right now. Or maybe it's as wide as the ocean. But it's all an expression of the stillness, of the power, whatever it is. So it's going to change. I've been praying this morning that this silence and stillness doesn't have a beginning or an ending. I invite you to spend some time in prayer, feeling your consciousness, and see if you can feel where it stops. If you practice meditation long enough, if you practice spiritual principle long enough, I guarantee you that you're going to feel God's presence as you. Not a God out there that touches you, but a sense of oneness, of knowing that you are part of everything that is. That there is a one that expresses as each one of us, and each one of us expresses in the one. We live and move and have our being in this stillness, and this stillness is living and moving as each one of us. And if you practice New Thought teachings, if you pray affirmatively, if you meditate, if you study, if you do your forgiveness work, sooner or later, you will feel your oneness with all there is. And I guarantee you that will happen if it hasn't already. And it's like in the Matrix when you get the choice of the two pills. Once you take that one pill, there ain't no going back. You can't go back to sleep. You can try to ignore your oneness, but once you've touched it, touched the hem of the garment and felt that power rush through you, there's no going back. You can't go back to sleep. And so once you've had this experience, even if it's just for a second, just where you... So then you can integrate this into your daily life so that your prayer is not just when you're on your seat in the morning, but as you're going through your day, it's there. Like, just be still. Gangaji, y'all have heard me talk about her a million times. Spiritual teacher, Gangaji says, just stop. Just pause. It doesn't go away. Because it is everything there is. It says in the Hebrew scriptures that God is a jealous God. If it wants anything, it wants your attention. Maybe it made you so it could have a relationship with you, so it could know itself as you. Because before there was us or anything, there was just one. There's no possibility for a relationship when there's just one. Are you hearing me? And so then we're created so that it can know itself as us. So there's a both and going on right here. And it wants us to be still and know that it is God. It wants us to be still. And any time throughout the day, it doesn't matter what's going on. Remember, Jesus said, be in the world, but not of it. You can get out there in it if you want to, because you have the choice to do that if you want to. If you want to get in all the mess, go ahead. I'm not looking at you, Cherry. All right. If you want to get in all the drama, that's on you. Because you get to pick that. And you know, sometimes it's fun. I'm not saying I don't ever get in it. But all you have to do is stop, and God is still there. Because we're making the drama. All the conflict in the world, all the evil in the world is we make it. God doesn't. God is absolute good all the time. And when we're in the flow, I talked about divine order, when we put our source first and we're in the flow of that goodness, we can't help but manifest good. Because not only is this thing, it's always creating. It wants to create. It's still creating as us, through us. So it'll direct you as you allow it, but it also allows you to direct it, to shape and form the stillness into what you want to experience. So it's your choice whether you want to get in the flow or go against the flow. You can do either one you want. And so you want to get in the drama, you want to get in the conflict, go ahead, that's your choice. But if you're like me, sooner or later you're going to get tired of it. Because you're doing all the work. But God is the sustainer and the maintainer of absolute good. So in order to experience good, all we have to do is allow it. Cooperate with it. Anytime there's drama in our life, we are not cooperating with the flow of God's good. Period. There's not a gray area there. We are or we're not. Abraham Hicks says, stop paddling upstream. Let go of the oar and let the river take your boat. Because there's nothing upstream that you want anyway. In the stillness is the power. The power is on the silent side. I was so blessed to lead a silent retreat last weekend with 8 other people. We spent a whole weekend not talking, with our telephones turned off, put away, no television, no books, just the sea, the shore, the critters, the trees, the sun, the bugs, the sand. It was blissful. And I came back from that once again, better able to be aware of the stillness as I went about my daily activities, because I had taken time to pause, to go away for a while and just be still. So I invite you to try this. If you have a day off and you're going to be by yourself, just get up in the morning and don't say anything. Listen. Turn everything off. Turn the radio off. Turn the TV off. Don't turn the computer on. Just listen. Go outside. Just stop. And see what that does for you. I guarantee you it will shift you. And it doesn't have to be a weekend. Just every now and then. An hour. Give yourself an hour out of the week to put everything away and just be with God. Just see what happens and bless it. Call it all good, whatever comes up. Because I guarantee you this, once you slow down, everything you've been running from is going to catch up with you. So just because you're in the stillness with God doesn't mean it's going to feel good. It might hurt a little bit, but just be present to it, because it's not forever. Your thoughts, your feelings, they come and go. The trick is choosing the ones that you want to focus on. And that's a whole nother talk. So I invite you to give this method a little try. Just give yourself a time out and see how it feels. I would love to hear your reports. I know some of y'all have been on week-long silent retreats and have experienced some wonderful, wonderful times with God. So let's move into prayer one more time. And once again, turn to the stillness where the power is. The stillness, the vast, immense, endless, never-ending, inexhaustible silence that underpins everything. Breathe into that and feel the presence of stillness once more. And know that as we do it together here as a group, that we're helping everybody on the planet to move into an awareness of this experience of stillness, because we're all connected. And the more that we raise our consciousness, the more the consciousness of the planet is raised. Jesus said, when I am raised up, I will draw all up with me. I draw all unto me. As we raise up in consciousness together, we're helping everybody on the planet. And so let us see everybody waking up to an experience of God's good, of silence and stillness, and realizing the truth of their being. Just take a moment with me and consider a planet where everyone is awake. And feel a web of stillness encircling our globe. Peace. Peace. Be still and know.
I got peace like a river. I just roll with the flow. Now the river is deep and the river is wide and it's strong from side to side. I just roll with the flow. The river flows all day and it flows all night. I got peace.
I've got peace
Like a river.
like a river.
I got peace
I've got peace
down in my soul.
down in my soul.
I got peace
I've got peace
like a river.
like a river.
I just roll.
I just roll.
with the flow. Roll with the flow, Raphael. Now the river is strong
River is strong.
and the river is fast
River is fast.
and the river is built.
River is built.
It's built to last,
It's built to last.
not made by hand,
Not made by hand.
not made by man.
Not made by man.
It is the future.
It is the future.
It is the past.
It is the past.
I got peace
I've got peace
like a river.
like a river.
I got peace
I've got peace
down in my soul.
down in my soul.
I got peace
I've got peace
like a river.
like a river.
And I just roll
I just roll.
with the flow. Yeah, I just roll with the flow. I just roll.
I just roll.
With the flow.
A Georgia Kyle original song there. Thank you, Kyle. That was great. Do I have any love offering people this morning? Can I get Miss Evelyn Revev and Sister Renal? Come on now. We practice prosperity, the activity of giving and receiving at Unity of Savannah. Last time I spoke, I put out a call. I said, I need some help. I need some flowers in here. Be careful what you pray for, because my allergies are killing me. Wait, cancel. I also asked for some help doing some other stuff, and people just stepped up. And I want to say how much I appreciate that, because it takes all of us together to keep this going. And if you feel like that you've been blessed, that you are blessed by being a member of our spiritual community, now everybody is included here. It doesn't matter where you come from, who you love, what you look like, how much money you have. We're grateful that you're here. And we're grateful for everybody's contribution. So we are going to take up a financial offering this morning, and then Miss Iris is going to get up and talk to us for a minute. And we're welcoming 5 new members into our community this morning, 5 active members. So we're really grateful that even though we've moved through some trying times during the last couple of years, remember what we talked about earlier. Everything has a beginning and everything has an ending. And sooner or later, all of this stuff is going to die down. Something else might rise up to take its place. I don't know. But what I do know is that there's one presence and one power active in our lives and in the universe, and that we're all expressions of that. And so if you would like to support our vision and mission this morning with a financial blessing, this is your opportunity. So I ask our people to stand here in the corner just a minute, because I like to make this a intentional time. There's so many times I've been to places where you pass an offering and it's kind of like an afterthought. But what I want to work on this morning is that when we all get together with prosperity, whether it's money, your job, your relationships, your health, think about God's good in your life right now. I'm grateful.
We thank you for this substance. I receive. I am
thankful.
Member of the community. And what I always like to reinforce to new members and existing official members of the church. Number one, if you're not an official member and you don't care to be, you're not on the outside looking in. We want you to know that. There are people that come here all the time that aren't official members, and we love you just as much as we love everybody else, okay? So it doesn't, we're not trying to make an us and them thing. And also, I know from experience that if I'm all in, the universe rushes in to support me. There's been times in my life where I've had one foot over here and one foot over here, and God's over here going, when you make up your mind, let me know. I'll be glad to help you. And they used to tell me this story too, I love. When I went into a 12-step program, they said if you hang around the outside and you fall, there's no one there to catch you. If you're in the middle of everything that's going on and you fall, everybody's going to hold you up. So when you officially join a community and you're 100% all in and you participate and you give, it's amazing what you get back. So we want to honor the folks that have made that commitment and said, I'm all in. Give me some more, God. I'm ready. So I'm going to call you up now, and we're going to do our blessing ceremony. And I'm going to ask you, everybody, to please hold one of our new members, Amanda Hooper, is in the hospital. So she's not here this morning. So we're asking for her for prayers for Amanda Hooper to see her healthy, whole, and free. And we're going to bless her remotely this morning. So first I want to invite Bobby Shelton to come forward. And if you'll just stand right there and face outwards, we're going to line everybody up. Andrew Conger, please come forward. Give him a hand, y'all. Donna Cook, please come forward. and Joanne James. Come on down. So I have a little oil here. This is spikenard oil. And in the New Testament, it tells us that this is the oil that Mary of Bethany used to anoint Jesus with. And remember that the word Messiah is Greek for anointed one. The anointed one. The Christos is the anointed one. And so I'm going to anoint each of our new members to signify that they are the Christ of God in expression. So I'll give everyone a little blessing with the oil. And I ask you to please move into a prayerful consciousness and just surround each one of them as I bless them. So please join me in blessing our new members. Together we say, we love you, we bless you, we appreciate you, and we behold the light of Christ shining as you. And so it is. Give them a round of applause. Welcome, new members. Thank you. So I have some jobs for you. I'll see you as soon as church is over. Speaking of which, our youth ed program is opening back up. Yay! And on Halloween, the last Sunday of the month. And we have worked really hard coming up with protocols. We're going to be extra careful with the children. We have a whole procedure where they'll be coming in the front door of the fellowship hall. We have a big curtain to put up to separate their area from the adults area. And Miss Iris McCraw, our youth director, youth enrichment program director, is going to share a little bit about that. So please give her a hand. She has been in touch with the families and the children all through the pandemic. She has really helped keep everybody connected together so that even though we weren't able to meet with the parents and the kids in person. We did a lot of work on making sure they knew that we were still praying with them and we loved them and they were still part of what's going on here. Thank you. You're welcome.
Yeah, so Reverend Dale asked me to speak about this morning. And before I do that, I'm feeling a little moved to do something else first. Reverend Dale, close your ears. So many of you may be aware that October is Minister Appreciation Month. And I know, we all kind of like, it's like Reverend Dale, that's his job, right? And I thought, I'm just going to throw out the idea. Halloween, trick or treat, right? We've all had enough tricks over the last year and a half. We don't need any more, right? Amen. So let's treat Reverend Dale on Halloween. So I'm just throwing out the idea, some cards, gift cards, love offerings, presents, testimonials. Let's treat Reverend Dale. Let him know what's in our hearts. So that's just an idea I'm throwing out. Now, back to... Thank you, you're welcome. So now, back to what I came to speak about. So, there have been a lot of questions about why we're doing this now, how we're going to do this. We have developed a list of protocols. We will be putting them on the website to try to answer all of those questions. In this time, we don't know what is exactly safe. So what we're trying to do is just reduce risk for our children. We particularly call our youth program a youth enrichment program as opposed to a youth education program. We do that by design because we feel that, our children are perfect the way they are. And we want to give them an experience of unity and unity principles that is inviting and fun. And our children have fun when they come, and they are exposed to demonstrations of these principles. You'd be amazed at the things that they understand and are able to articulate. And we'd like to just bring them together again to begin to do that. This is a time to restart, recreate, reimagine how this can be. And as this is happening, I am inviting everybody else to take the opportunity to do something that you haven't done before. Many people, all the time I hear, "Oh, I'm not a teacher. I don't." All the nots. So how about you consider yourself it's a possibility. You never know until you give it a try, and you'd be surprised at how much fun you might have. We are only starting with the children who are currently in school first. As time goes by, of course, we will be evaluating and reevaluating and seeing about how can we get the youngest ones back in. Couple of things that I just, really wanted to mention to people, all the time, or quite frankly, I hear people who are now in Unity talk about how they wish they had had an opportunity to have such an experience when they were children. Well, this is our opportunity to do that and to really build our spiritual community, because our community involves and includes everyone. And if the more people who participate, the more diverse the experiences that our children can have. So I have forms. I'm inviting people to give it a try. Just give it a try. There's no long-term commitment, but give it a try. And quite frankly, in order for it to happen on Halloween, I need the commitment of at least 3 other people right now. So that's where we are with this. We really are visioning it, holding it in our hearts and in our minds, and looking to you to make this a reality.
Thank you, Iris. Can we have a hand for Iris again? So I just wanted to say, Iris needs 3 people to help on Halloween. It's 2 weeks from today, correct? So if you want to help, please see her immediately after the service. We need to get your name and some other information because everybody that works with the children has to have a background check, even if they're just checking people in. So we want it only takes, half a minute to do. You just fill out something on the internet. It's no big deal. So if you want to help on Halloween, we need 3 people. Can I see anybody? Donna said yes. Anybody else want to help? Dorian, thank you. Okay, there's 2, so we only need 1 more. So thank you, Iris. See Iris, you guys, after the service, and thank you. She'll answer your questions. Yeah, thank you. All right, so thank you all for coming. Thank you for praying with us this morning. Thank you to contributing to this spiritual community. We love you, we bless you, and we appreciate you. Let's all stand and join in our closing song, Let There Be Peace on Earth.
Let there be peace on earth and let it begin with me. Let there be peace on earth, the peace it was meant to be. With earth as our mother, family all are we. Let us walk with each other in perfect harmony. Let peace begin with me. Let this be the moment now. With every step I take, let this be my joyous vow. To take each moment and live each moment in peace eternally. Let there be peace on earth and let it begin with me.
The light of God surrounds us. The love of God enfolds us. The power of God protects us. And the presence of God watches over us. Wherever we are, God is, and all is well. We still have a lot of food next door, so if you're hungry, go next door, get a little something to eat.